If you've ever wondered about changing group ownership in Linux, you're in the right place. Today I will be discussing one of the most important Linux commands, and our spotlight is on chgrp. Let's dive into the basics of this command and see 7 examples of using chgrp in the Ubuntu terminal. First, what is chgrp? Well, chgrp stands for change group, and it's a command in Linux that allows you to modify the group ownership of files and directories. It's an important tool for managing permissions and ensuring the right users have access to the files. Now let's talk about the syntax. The basic syntax of chgrp includes the command chgrp followed by options. After that, you specify the new group and the file or files you want to change the group ownership of. And if you open the terminal and execute this command, this will open up the manual of chgrp command. If you scroll down, you can see all the options that go with this command. To exit it, press Q. Now let's get hands-on with the 7 practical examples of chgrp command. For the first example, let's say I have a directory called mydir. To see its ownership, execute this command. This shows that Aisha is both the actual owner and group owner of this folder. Now to change the group owner to another user on my Linux system called mygroup, I will run this command. Let's check the group ownership again. You can see that I have changed the group of the directory mydir from Aisha to mygroup. Now, what if we want to recursively change the group ownership of all files and directories within a directory? That's where the R option comes in. For example, I will run this command to see the group owner of mydir directory and its contents. The output shows that the group owner is now Aisha. At this point, I will type this command to change the group ownership to mygroup recursively. Provide the password of your user. Now to see the new group owner of mydir and its contents, run this command. You can see that the group ownership now belongs to mygroup. Moving on, let's see how we can change the group ownership of a directory and its contents to match a reference file or directory. For this example, I'm using this command to see the group ownership of 2 directories on my Linux system, which are mydir and mydir2. The output shows that mydir and its contents belong to mygroup, while those of mydir2 belongs to Aisha. Now execute this command to change the group ownership of mydir2 to match mydir. To confirm the changes, run the tree command again. As you can see in the terminal, the group ownership of mydir2 is now the same as mydir. If you're curious and want to see what chgrp is doing in real time, you can use the V option for a verbose output. It will show you each file as it's being processed. As an example, let's change the group ownership of a directory on my system called mydir3. But first, let's view its group ownership. The output displays that the current group owner is Aisha. Now let's set the group owner to my group. Provide the user password. Here, the V option instructs the chgrp command to display the execution details. Now, time to check the group ownership again. As you can see, this directory now belongs to my group. Next, let's learn how to hide errors generated by the chgrp command using the F option. This option suppresses potential error messages. As an example, let's try changing the group ownership of a non-existent directory called mydear5. As expected, an error message is generated since mydear5 does not exist. Now let's suppress these errors. And just like that, the error messages are hidden now. Moving on, we can use the C option with chgrp to display information only when a change is made. Let's see how this works. You will notice that this command is now displaying the information each time the group owner of the directory mydear4 and its contents is changed from Aisha to my group. Lastly, let's explore changing the group name of symbolic linked files or the main files without altering the group ownership of the symbolic link itself. But first, let me explain what a symbolic link is. A symbolic link is a special type of file in Linux that serves as a reference or pointer to another file or directory. Before I carry out the chgrp command, I need to create a symbolic link that points to a file on my system, such as file1 for this example. You have to use the option S followed by the file name that will be the source file that you want to link to, and then a name for the link. Now run this command to confirm the changes. You can see that the link has been created and Aisha is the group owner. After that, it's time to alter the group owner. Verify who's the group owner now. As seen in the output, I've changed the group of the main file without altering the group of the symbolic link. And that wraps up this tutorial on changing group ownership using the chgrp command in Linux. Whether you're managing user permissions, working on collaborative projects, or just exploring Linux, chgrp is a valuable tool for you. Feel free to experiment with it in your own Linux environment, and for more information, check out the commands and the article in the description below.